Hi, I'm Jack from Region Security Guarding's YouTube channel, where we make videos about security and security guard. To stay up to date with all the latest security guarding news, make sure you subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy our video. In today's video, we will be going over a step-by-step guide to making a citizen's arrest here in the UK, deciding whether to make a citizen's arrest. It's only advisable to make a citizen's arrest if you've actually seen a crime being committed. You're going to have to provide probable cause to the police when they arrive and take responsibility of the individual. You shouldn't perform an arrest just because you think something is going to happen. Make sure you can safely perform a citizen's arrest. The process of performing a citizen's arrest can be dangerous. The suspect could have a weapon or could already be committing a violent crime. You may need to physically restrain the individual. So you need to evaluate the situation and make sure you can control it without the use of excessive force. If you attempt to make a citizen's arrest and you're unable to physically restrain the suspect, the situation could easily spiral out of control and become much worse. Consider your surroundings, both environmental and those around you. Is it likely that someone else is going to be injured during the arrest? Can you safely restrain the suspect without seriously injuring them? Be on the lookout for hard surfaces that could cause serious head injury, as these things could be life-threatening to both you, the suspect, and the passers-by. Explain who you are, what you're doing, and why. It's very important that you go through the process of explaining who you are, that you're performing a citizen's arrest, and why you are doing it. This is going to involve explaining the crime they are suspected of committing. It's also going to involve you explaining each step that you are taking. An example of this would be explaining that you are restraining the individual on suspect of trying to physically assault another person, that you are not trying to hurt them, and that you are calling the police so they can take responsibility of the situation. Remain calm, polite, and respectful during the process, as not to further exacerbate the situation. Restrain the suspect with reasonable force. You are only permitted to use reasonable force when performing a citizen's arrest, and only enough to take control of the situation. For example, restraining the suspect to the ground while waiting for the police to arrive would be reasonable force if they posed a threat. Once they have been restrained, it would be unreasonable force to hit the suspect until they are unconscious. As the situation is already under control, this would be completely unnecessary. Call the police immediately. Once the situation is under control, you need to make sure you contact law enforcement authorities immediately. Ask a passerby to do this for you if you are currently restraining the suspect. This may have already been done and you may be taking responsibility of the suspect until the police arrive. When they arrive on the scene, you must let them know what crime the suspect has committed, everything you saw regarding the incident, and the actions you carried out during the citizen's arrest. You may be required to provide this information again later on in a statement. Be prepared for any legal consequences. In an ideal world, this would be something you wouldn't need to consider, but it isn't uncommon for a situation that requires a citizen's arrest to spiral out of control. It's easy for the suspect to get injured or a more violent altercation to break out. This could result in you being charged for injury or even assault. If you make an arrest and no crime was committed, this brings its own set of legal complications against you. So you need to be aware of this before considering to make a citizen's arrest. This is one of the main reasons why it's recommended you leave it to law enforcement professionals, as they are trained to properly handle these sorts of situations. That's our step-by-step guidelines for performing a citizen's arrest in the UK. If you have any thoughts on the topic, don't forget to let us know in the comments below. Give us a like if you've enjoyed this video, and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all the latest security guarding news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.